All right, I've already started doing a little bit, so you're not really gonna get much of an intro, but I'm making a griddle today, so stay tuned, enjoy. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this little piece of 16 gauge. I was gonna go with something a little thicker, like that 1/8 inch plate, but I was just thinking this is probably okay because it's gonna heat up a little faster. The size I'm going for is something that's gonna fit over this because I know that this will fit over my one at home and it won't be that big of a deal. So that way I kind of have a portable little camping. Alright, so here's the gutters in the front and back, and like I said, I'm going to put some pins on there and weld them on, but I figured that would be a good time to kind of check. I wanted to keep this front one really shallow, kind of. Anyways, I got this thing about to the shape where I want it, and it stayed pretty flat surprisingly, which is great. So I'm gonna go ahead and, I had a little bit of a different idea for the side gutters. I'm just gonna use a piece of round and weld that in there, since either way I'm gonna have to weld it up. Might as well use something that's already round and it's nice and not gonna cut my fingers, and it's also gonna be shallow enough to where I can still get the spatula in there easily like on this side. So I'm also gonna use that same chunk of round to make the handles as well. So like I discussed earlier, I went with a pretty thin metal here, and I know that looks ugly, but it's function over form. Anyways, I went with a pretty thin metal here at 16 gauge, and the reason I was doing that is because this is primarily going to be like a camping griddle, and I was thinking the thinner it is, the less propane it's going to take to preheat it. So that being the case though, I do have to worry about warping. So my settings are pretty low here. I just have it on the one setting, and this is just a 110 machine. They're going to be different for every machine, obviously, but I'm keeping these settings as low as possible to try to avoid warping, and I'm going to kind of do that bit of a kind of a hot tack pattern thing just to kind of, I'll tack it, and then as soon as it turns orange, I'll do the next tack just to kind of keep the heat, but also not apply too much. I still want it to penetrate and seal so grease doesn't get out, but I also don't want this thing to turn into like a banana shape because that's going to be really hard to straighten out afterwards. This doesn't look very good, but for a bunch of little tacks that I did in a row, like some dumbass that, you know, was just trying to keep this thing from warping and succeeded in not warping it, actually. Very, very cool. But yeah, it turned out okay and it didn't warp. So it's also sealed. I checked on both sides. It's got, you know, I guess it's not necessarily a confirmation, but looks like it's got penetration on both sides right there. Looks like maybe it's less penetration. I don't know why, but anyways, it's plenty fused here. So now for the handles. I'm gonna do multiple layers on this, so don't be too concerned. You should probably do multiple layers too. Go ahead and set your oven timer to about an hour. I'll say an hour and a half, just because I got better to do. And then set the temperature to 350 degrees. Now that temperature does kind of depend on what oil you use. You want to use an oil with a high smoke point from what I hear. My advice honestly is to just go on YouTube, Google how to season or best oil to season a cast iron pan, and find a video that is an old lady narrating it, and they're going to give you really, really good info on that. That I seasoned right prior to this, that turned out really good. It's a very smooth finish. And here is this ugly discolored griddle that I seasoned, but I did manage to get a pretty even surface. Now I'm probably gonna go one more layer over this, and I did bend the handles inside so that I could use the oven, but yeah, this thing turned out pretty good. I'm excited to cook on this. I don't really have anything that needs cooking right now. I got leftovers to finish before I start making new food. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment or anything on other things you might like to see. I don't usually do kitchen related stuff, but I figured this is a fab project, kind of right up my alley. So yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope this is helpful, useful, or inspiring in some way. And other than that, have a good one, guys. God bless.